This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Looking forward to the V8 Supercars this weekend at Barbagallo. In fact, it's the 100th race at Barbagallo for the V8s.
Wow.
And we've got two of the champs from Shell V-Power Racing. DJR, in fact, Will Davo, who've had in here before.
Welcome
Will,
back,
good morning.
Will.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
And Perth's own Brodie Kostecki, coming off the back of winning Bathurst last year. Brods, how you going?
Yeah, good. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us on the show. It's cool to be here.
Hey, Brods, first of all, I kicked off when you walked in. I said,
Yeah,
I
big
asked you about
question.
your footy team being a WA guy. And what did you say?
I'm a Pies man, so
And we said, get out.
very brave. Very brave.
How did that happen? That's just a disgrace.
My family have been, long supporters of Collingwood.
Doesn't
and
make it right.
Oh, it does, because we're just pretty close to the top of the ladder at the moment. So
I know, this year it's all right, isn't it?
yeah,
Damn it.
it's great.
What about you, Will?
Well, I'm a Bombers man growing up.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
bless.
Yeah, exactly. Do you feel sorry for me? You
Little
should.
bit.
I do. Every year, the Bombers supporters they're up
Give
and
you,
about.
give
They
you a little
just
bit of
think,
hope.
This is
and
the
then
time.
I don't know what happens.
Yeah, hopes and dreams. That's about it.
But listen, obviously Rihanna, the wife's, Perth, Western
Yes.
Australian, and so already our little son Dash. He's already saying, "Go Eagles." That's
Yeah,
all he
go
can say.
Dash.
So I'm
man.
not sure how to take this argument on with the in-laws over here. I
Yeah,
haven't quite.
the only way's
taken
up,
that on
Dash.
yet.
Don't worry. We'll
Yeah,
get there.
that's a really good point. Get on.
Get on now.
Well, you mentioned the wife. She's a pit reporter, right? Has she ever had to interview you, and how did that go?
Oh yes, yeah, plenty of times.
How does that go? Does she throw in like, "Hey, honey," or like, is it,
Any chance of
She's
putting the
so
bins out? Yeah.
professional. She's so
Yeah, any
pro.
danger,
She's
that
too
would be
pro.
great.
Like I can't keep a straight face.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
there's been once or twice a couple of funny stories. I mean, there's been too many to remember, but there was once I was really angry. I think I'd crashed, and I'm like bailing to the truck.
Yeah.
Didn't want to talk to anyone.
And she's
And
running
I
you
could just
down.
hear, Will, Rihanna's asking for me. Your wife's calling out. She goes, Will, I'm live on telly. I was like, deep breath, turn around. I better answer to this, otherwise I won't hear the end of it. So,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
yeah.
Hey, Brods, this race is actually called the Bosch Super Tools, which is kind of close to your nickname, which is Bush. Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say super tools, which is on the
That's
track. No, my nickname came about. It was a long time ago now, but it was at a friend of mine's place, Paul Morris, who's also a Bathurst winner as well, and fooling around in some old cars that were meant to be going to the rubbish tip with my cousins, funnily enough, which are also from Perth, WA, and brakes failed on one of them, and my cousin Kurt was driving, and he rode it off into the tree, but I actually jumped out at 110 k's an hour. So
you did a roll out the door?
yeah, did a roll out the door, it was absolutely chockers with rain. So I slid. I
Soft
slid on the
landing.
grass, and sort of landed in a bush. So yeah,
That's all it takes to get a lifelong nickname,
Yeah,
isn't it?
the car behind us showed up to the crash site, and there was obviously no passenger in the car, and I'm like, 400 metres over there.
Yeah.
There's
And,
proof. There's video proof.
Yeah, there is video proof. Yeah, it's pretty
we
funny.
didn't
Quite
see
the
that.
photo.
That's
is amazing.
extraordinary.
That is epic.
Yeah.
Will, do you have a cool nickname story?
I mean, no.
Do you have a cool nickname?
Not really.
Dave,
My friends call me Hank. I don't know why.
Hank.
I know why he gets
Yeah,
there.
I don't
Rhyming
know.
slang?
Hey, me, myself, and
Hank.
Irene, maybe.
I
I'm not
think
sure.
Hank would he-
Alter ego.
Hank.
I don't know.
Yeah, Hank comes out sometimes.
Long time ago.
Hey, Will, are you considered a veteran of the sport these days? I don't like to, Does it get to
I
The
actually
young
am.
bucks are coming
Yeah,
up.
I
like
actually
that.
am.
And I'm actually finally getting comfortable to embrace it, But it's cool. I've been around a long time. It's scary because I still have the same feelings going into
Yes.
every weekend and nerves and desire to be better and do well and get the most out of myself. But yeah, 20 years has gone by. Like I posted a photo yesterday. I mean, 2007 at Perth, some throwback photo. My engineer's
Yeah.
like, I was in year 4 at school, Will,
Yeah.
or something
It's brutal,
silly.
isn't
It's
it?
like, oh, wow. But that's
Yeah.
cool. I've seen a lot. I've raced with some amazing names over the
Yeah.
years, and it's cool to still be going
Yeah.
around.
Oh, no
How
doubt.
old were you in 2007, Brodie?
I was like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't debut in 07. I debuted in 05. I was already 3 years in 07.
Fellas, do you have any unique training you have to do? Sometimes you see the F1 drivers, pressing the buttons, reaction speed type of things. Anything odd you have to do as training for your job?
Yeah, we always try to stay fit. I think Davo is actually he's training for a triathlon at the moment, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm doing a Gold Coast Marathon coming up. Rihanna, actually, my wife's doing Ironman Cairns in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So,
the full
distance, yeah. So we're both into our tries. I'm not doing the full distance in a few weeks because we're straight to Darwin. So I enjoy that, actually, the mental side of things. Just one, it's an escape from what you do, finding balance over a long period of time, but also just the mental side of things to dig yourself out of some pretty dark holes in those long distance stuff. So I love it. You learn a lot about yourself. It's good.
Nice word about it.
Well, I don't think it helps me drive the race car, to be honest, but I
But you
just
do
enjoy
have
it.
to be physically fit to do it. It's not just, you're not just sitting there, right?
No, it's definitely a very specific conditioning.
Yes.
There's no real way. I mean, the best conditioning is actually just driving every couple of weeks like we do because it is hot. It's pretty full-on
And
aggressive
there's
environment in there.
You don't get an opportunity to switch off while you're doing it, right?
Definitely not. No.
Bros, can you service your own car?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm pretty handy with
He's
my hands.
seriously handy on the tools.
Yeah.
Are you? What about you, Will?
No. Definitely not my forte.
Oh, it'd be such a good skill. I played with a guy who played footy with me, and he went and did a mechanical apprenticeship, but then he ended up being an engineer. But yeah, he still to this day services his own car, and I just think that's bloody cool. That's a real manly thing to do, which I'm clearly not.
We know.
Look, as kids, you grow up, I had to work on my go-karts, dirt
Yeah.
bikes, so you've obviously got an understanding, but nothing like this guy as a teammate. It's unreal. He's out there overlooking everyone,
Tinkering.
mechanics, engineers. He's across everything. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a nuisance.
Are you? Loves gold. Oh, so what do you get around in normally when you're driving the car? You have to get around in a Mustang?
Ford Raptor.
Oh, yeah.
Ford Raptor at the moment.
Have
so-
You drive
have
only
you-
at the speed limit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, always obey road safety laws.
Thank
it's very
you.
important.
Apart from that, have you made some adjustments to your car?
No, I don't. So we're very lucky. We get given cars to drive from Ford here in Australia. So they stay stock standard, but the Ford Raptor's really cool. So I don't have to
it's
do
a
too
weapon.
much to it. Yeah.
What about you, Will? What do you get
Yeah,
around
I've
in?
Raptor in F-150 at the moment, the big F-150, the big truck. But the Raptors, I've had Raptors for years, actually. They're such a good practical car.
Hey, when you've got the F-150, because everyone's thinking about petrol prices, right? They're down at the moment, but do you just go into Shell, literally, and just have the card and just give it a how you going?
Yeah, we can't lie, can we?
Yeah, we sure do.
I mean, the 1,200 kilometre range, that's all I see. That it's fantastic. I didn't actually even see what it cost to fill it up.
You don't.
It just
So
had
you're
great
filling
range.
up on a Wednesday rather than a Tuesday. So here in WA, it's cheap petrol on a Tuesday, and then the prices jack up on a Wednesday.
It's cheap every
But
day
you don't-
for us.
You don't care.
I mean, I hear the Shell, Ready Express fuel prices are just absolutely fantastic around Perth at the moment.
Well, they are.
Super.
And can I ask this one as well? So you go into Shell and you fill up on petrol. Do you just go, I'm going to grab a Mars bar and possibly a couple of Powerades because you know you're
On
going
the
to get 2%.
card.
No,
50
I have to split them.
on the card.
That's the one thing. I always come with a handful, and then I'm like, petrol first, and then I've got to pay for my chocky bar myself. God.
What? It's an outrage.
We'll take this up for you. You deserve better.
Thank you.
Well, we really appreciate your time for coming in, guys. And good luck for this weekend.
good
It's going to
luck.
be an absolute ripper. You're
Thank
both
you.
doing
Thanks
well.
for
But
having us.
it's always a pleasure, Will. We've had you in a couple of times, but Brodie, to have you in here as well. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No, thanks for
Awesome.
having us.
Thanks for having us.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Always a pleasure to have Seabass in the house, the greatest ever netballer that's represented Australia over our long history.
I love in the media you can just make up stuff like
that's
that. No one
right.
challenges you.
As long as
there's
you say it
people-
enough.
Surely there's a sash.
Yeah, there's people screaming at their radios right
Yes.
now going, no!
That was Liz Ellis.
Liz Alice. How many goals did she shoot?
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
she's
great
a
point.
defender, so
yeah,
good.
not many.
Hey, Seabass, I wanted to ask you, we just spoke to the V8 Supercar drivers just a little minute ago, Will Davison and Brodie Kostecki, and we've had a lot of V8 Supercar drivers on our show over the journey. Natalie and I, we were all talking about it actually. They all present themselves amazingly well. They're so down to earth and
Great talkers.
It's amazing
Very
to see.
media savvy.
Yeah, clearly, they operate in a really high team dynamic where everyone has to pitch in because they're just so grounded,
Yes,
right? They're
yeah,
not
it's all hands
out
on
there.
deck, isn't it? Yeah.
When you're playing netball, I'll throw this out there, media training, because who does their media training? Because they're
Yeah, they're
outstanding,
so
but I
good.
just think they're good people. Media training, from your point of view, was that an important part?
Yes, it was definitely because we were...
Where do I get some?
we were so aware that if we did finally get an opportunity to have a camera in our face, we wanted to make the most of that opportunity. So I guess it is preparing to impress. And that's what I was always under pressure. I thought, if I've got a speaking gig, if I'm on media, if I'm doing radio, I really want to impress them. A, so people go, oh, wow, netballers are great. But B, so I could potentially get another gig and continue to keep working and continue to keep talking about netball. So at the moment with the Western Force, this is something I'm looking into, and we're looking at journos who are currently working, who we can pull in, likes of Pav, yourself, who's transitioned from being an athlete back into the media and what you've learned. But did you seriously get no media training when you were playing football?
No, I don't think I did, but what
Or if he did, he
I
didn't
don't
turn
think
up.
I did. He
or
didn't.
pay
I
attention.
wouldn't have turned up. And I definitely wouldn't have paid attention. I do apologise to everyone who I put through the ringer back in the day. But what I did know is the terminology that you use in sport, and therefore when the questions were asked, you knew what you're coming back with. But when I started with Nathan and Nat, it was difficult to get out of that space and just be you.
Yes.
As in,
And how do you teach that?
you still wanted to use footy lingo, or
And you're pretty guarded because
Yes.
you know what's coming.
to be honest, when you're in a team sport, it really is about being humble and being part of a team.
Yeah.
It's you're not big noting yourself, and that's why American athletes are sometimes blow my mind, because they are so self-confident and passionate and think they're the best. Whereas in Australian sport, that tall poppy syndrome, no.
Because the team thing is drummed into you. Yeah.
So I guess like finding
Full
your
credit
voice
to the
and,
boys.
and being comfortable with you. And I think the best athletes that I see in the media are really authentic to themselves. They're not giving you the, we tried 110%,
Yeah.
the boys did a great job answers, because that's boring. No one,
And we've heard them for years.
no one wants to write about, no journo wants to write about
Yeah.
that. That's not going to make a clip that goes viral.
Yeah,
However,
but if you put your head up, you can get it knocked off. So that's what everyone's
Yeah, or you
concerned
can
about.
be, the honey badger and make a whole career out
it's
of
true.
it.
Or you can be vulnerable and honest. And,
Yes.
Simone McInnes, in netball a couple of weeks ago, her and Kate Maloney, they've been playing terribly. And in their press conference afterwards, she just said, maybe we just need to go to the pub. And
Yes.
everyone cracked their pants. And it's great. So, I don't know. It is hard. Some people have the knack, some people don't. It's definitely a skill that can be learned.
Yeah. Now, can we change tack a little bit? Because I want to know, Caitlin Bassett, when your comeback is. Because this week we've seen an almost 40-year-old Kiwi come back and play after not having played for years. And the last time she played was against you.
Yes. So Casey Kapua made her debut for the Giants on the weekend. And funnily enough, the last time she played was against me in the World Cup in 2019, where they
So
won
6
by
years
goal.
ago. Oh, no.
You'd think she'd want to finish her career on a high.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how I see it. Like, her coming back to the league is an interesting concept, because she finished as a world champion and the Giants are not playing very
No.
well. She's obviously not in the condition she used to be when she was playing, and she hasn't trained
Yeah.
for the last 6 years.
And she's 6 years older
it
as
would
well.
be really frustrating as an athlete to go back out there. Imagine you trying to play football now in the body that
No,
you're
he
in.
still thinks he could.
Really? Do you reckon you could run around, mix it up with the young boys?
I honestly believe up until 40, because when I hit 40 on the dot, my body just broke down. It said,
itself.
thank you. It just went no. But up until then, which she's, I don't know, what is she, 38, 39? In my
39,
mind, 100%.
To be honest, it's not the age thing as such for me, because we are age is just a number, and athletes are getting
Oh,
older,
well said,
and,
mate.
and sports science and all that type of jazz. But I just don't understand her motivation.
But is she good enough? And then
She played all right.
That's the question. I think Giants would have been better off picking up a training partner who's been training in an SSN environment from another club. Number one, you're going to get a million tactics that another team has been working on for the last 12 months that can bring into your group. Number two, you're showing every other athlete in the world that if you are a training partner, you still get the opportunity. So come over here and train hard and a spot will open up for you. And number three, just that we're willing to give, I guess, homegrown talent an opportunity, because
Are there any goalkeepers in the waiting in the wings that you thought could have been given that gig?
So to be honest, the player that got injured was actually goal defence. So Jodie Ann Ward, she was playing goal defence. So, I reckon there was a couple of really good young goal defences that could have taken
could
a
have done
spot.
it, yeah.
I don't know how their age demographic is in that team, but when you bring in an experienced person like that who's won a World Cup and knows what to do, then it may be a good thing to be able to teach the young guys
doesn't
this
know
is the
any of them.
standards.
It's not like they don't
coming in
have
cold.
older players. They have Jo Harton, who is also creeping towards her 40s in their shooting end.
Age shaming.
Yeah,
Leave it.
no, I'm just saying they do have some older players. I don't think age has anything to do with it. And I know that was the retort from the coach, Julie Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we only had one player over 30 on the court. But I just think that there's opportunities for the young kids. As an Australian player, it makes me sad that there wasn't a young Australian player getting an opportunity.
No, I agree that there probably should be a cap on international players playing. There's two things to go with that. Firstly, you're going to develop the talent. On the other side of the ledger, then you want to have the strongest competition in the world, so therefore the best players like the EPL, for example.
So you're getting like pretty much the entire Jamaican national team plays in.
So we're saying that we want to have the best competition in the world, yet we're bringing someone out of retirement for 6 years. Like, it would be like Pav coming back and playing for the Dockers. Like, it's great and it's
I'd be
fantastic.
up and about. I'd be that excited.
I'd go to that game.
I'd give him a rub down.
I just don't know.
Well, isn't he doing that, but for the Beverley Football Club?
He is.
I just don't know what her motivation is. Like, if Dan Ryan called me and said, hey, do you want to play next week? I'd be like, no, because I would be embarrassed about what I put out there compared to the last time I played.
Yeah.
And just finally, while we've got you at the Western Force at the moment, they're going through some transition with players moving in and out of the team. You've been a part of that over the journey. How difficult a time is it?
It's hard because I'm helping athletes transition now, and we had a retirement announcement, Sam Carter, the other day, and when I sat down with him, I got a little bit emotional. It's hard not to, but it was great to be able to give him some feedback around things that I wish I had done better in my transition, and to be able to connect him now with people that had helped me through my transition. So I think that what makes my heart really happy is the fact that hopefully I can help these players have a better exit out of the game than what I did. And you never know, some players will go on, they get delisted, they go play somewhere else. We might bring them back. Like, you never know what happens in sport. They might retire for a few years and come back in 6 years and play.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, there is a pathway there. I mean, just finally, massive game this week in netball. The Fever take on the Swifts which is really the. It's going to be the grand final.
Preview. Yeah, so Swifts undefeated so far this season. Grace Nweki has been like a revelation for them. West Coast Fever have not lost a game since Janelle Fallon has come back. So they're on 6 wins in a row. They're on a hot streak. So I reckon what we see this weekend could potentially be what we're going to see in the pointy end of the year.
Good work, Seabass.
Bring it on.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Want to kick off, first of all, by talking about the Socceroos in action tonight. We're up against Japan. Haven't beaten them in almost a decade. That's an outright win.
Right.
But this time, Japan have kind of they haven't got all their best players playing, and this game is crucial for Australia to qualify for the World Cup. This win would pretty much guarantee us to be there.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you've got an opportunity to go along tonight, because the weather, it stops raining today, probably around 9 a.m.
Yes,
so there's plenty of room. There's about 50,000 seats already sold, but we know that Optus Stadium will hold another 10,000. Let's get behind the Socceroos and get these boys over the line. It'll be huge.
Perth Glory captain, Taggart, he's in the squad. He's
Ross, you know all the Perth Glory guys.
And that's a name you can say.
Give me a tough name. Give me a tough name.
Kalen Majeka-Dunmi. A lot of people say Majeka-Dunmi. It's Majeka-Dunmi, and I know that because I asked him after mispronouncing it.
That is fantastic.
He's a good guy.
Let's go, Socceroos. I hope the boys get over the line. That'll be their 6th qualification in a row.
Great.
Just no mean effort. Moving on to the AFL, and if you watch any of the news services, you'll see the Tasmanian football team is under pressure and it might fold and it might never happen and all this kind of stuff. That's way over the top. There was a lady on the news also last night, Kath McCann, who was also interviewed, and she was the marketing manager at the Tassie Devils, and she was crying and she was very upset.
Oh, she okay?
She's okay. But once again, I feel like that's a bit of marketing, a bit of byplay. It's upsetting to see that the two governments over there, the Liberal Party and the Labor Party, are going head to head. There's a no confidence vote.
Yes, in the Premier.
Current Premier. And he barely got in, by the way. That was just, he barely got in.
So this is the issue. There's some political turmoil, and the building of the stadium is a political football, pardon the pun, isn't it? Is it that's the issue? And so it's whether or not a new government would agree to the building of the stadium.
Both sides have agreed that they need a new stadium at this stage, but because there's unrest at the moment, and can they go back to the polling booths? Then there's a delay, and the AFL said there has to be a target done because this team's coming in 2028. Yeah. This is happening, and you need this new stadium, which is about $924 million apparently.
Yes.
By the way, it only holds about 14,000 people.
I thought it was 24.
Was
Isn't it 24? I think it's 24.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
It should be 24.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm waiting.
But the thing was that the existing stadium holds about 22, and it's like they're spending a lot of money for not much more capacity.
Yeah, but it's going to be multi-purpose, and the likes of Katy Perry, Natalie, will come to our fine shores next week. You'll be able to see her play there.
23,000 seats.
I was completely way off.
I was pretty close.
Well done.
But 1,500 additional structured standing areas, so you could stand.
Yeah, so 24.
That'll be amazing. What a great place. And as you know, what happened here in Perth when we had our stadium built, it just changes the dynamic.
If you build
of the whole
it, they
job.
will come.
100%. Let's hear from Brendan Gale, who's the CEO of the Tassie Devils, and get his take on it.
As far as we're concerned, it's business as usual. We're getting on with the business we have to of building an organisation and building teams. Clearly, our existence is conditional upon the delivery of a stadium, and that's an agreement between the AFL and the state government. And that stadium needs to clear the passage of both houses of parliament. I mean, that process is underway at the moment. So that process will run its course. That hasn't changed. And there's some uncertainty around leadership and maybe the composition of parliament, but that really hasn't changed.
He's not really upset. He was on AFL 360 last night. He understands there's a lot of talk out and about.
Yes.
But
well, the thing is, here's the thing, right? Yeah. Saying that their entry is conditional on the building of the stadium. They already play AFL football in Tasmania, both in Hobart and in Launceston. They have a backup plan. They could play at one of those grounds while the new stadium is being built. You can't say, oh, no, it's not. It's impossible to have a team if we don't have that stadium. No, they play football there already. What is the issue?
Oh, the issue, from a commercial viability, they're saying to make some money. Long term. Yeah, we want this done.
But it's not actually a barrier to them entering the AFL if that stadium's not built by 2028. They could conceivably play football somewhere else while the new stadium is being built.
If anyone's done a new build recently, they'll know that that's not going to happen, obviously. That
it's not going to be built in time.
In time. So, they will have that plan. The AFL will allow them to play at Hobart or wherever it is, Launceston.
The AFL has a lot of money. They can subsidise them in the meantime.
You don't have to. No, you can get the federal government to pop in, and it's for the betterment of the state.
Oh, yeah, I'm not arguing that, but they're saying, they can't come into the league unless the stadium's built. Yeah, no, they can.
Yeah,
they can. They've written that as part of the agreement, but it's not actually a barrier to them entering the competition.
No, but I guess around the world now, a lot of the things are stadium deals. You get this new stadium happening,
I
NBA,
understand that, Shaun, but this blowing up now and saying, they're not going to make it, they've folded before they've started, that is blowing it out of the proportion.
Oh, way out. I mean, that's the whole point of this conversation.
That's what I'm saying. They absolutely can play in Tasmania. There are places they can play while that stadium is built if they can't deliver that stadium by 2028.
Yeah, everybody's saying at the moment, when you watch the news services, that it's dead and buried in the water almost, but that's never going to be the case. Brendan Gale was talking about that. It's both political parties have agreed this will be better for the benefit of Tasmania, not just a football club. They'll get it done eventually. Yeah. And the federal government is the one who's going to chip in at some stage. They'll come in. Albo will come in and say, just make this happen. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. There we go. We've spoken.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.